Hey everyone, welcome to today's webinar. I appreciate you jumping on this session with us. We're excited to be here. I am Carol, and we also have Sunil with us today, and we're both from Amazing Business Results. And today we are going to talk about creator applications. Specifically, we're going to jump into creator pages and dashboards. So I'm going to turn it over to Sunil now. And at any point during the webinar, if you have a question, please feel free to throw it in the chat. And if any questions come up after the webinar, you're always welcome to email those to us as well, and we'll cover them on the next session.
Hello everyone. So today we will be covering the creator pages and the dashboards, like how we can utilize creator pages to create different dashboards. And I will give you a demo on that, and we will be going over different scenarios, what are the different components, and how we can utilize them to create some attractive dashboards. So we are going to cover different scenarios. I will show you different panels, and we will be covering your questions as well. So let me share my screen. So this is kind of an example that we have in here. So this is the example dashboard. So you can see this is how we can create different dashboards using creator pages. So let's just say we want to create a page. So the first step is we need to go into the edit view of the application. And then the first step is to create on plus icon and then click on create new component, click on the page. This is going to be the first step. Then we have two ways to create, like we have two options. One is to go with the blank document. This is like a blank document, everything is going to be blank. And the second option is going to use a template. So we have some predefined templates as well. So if you think these will help you, you can utilize these templates. And then based on these templates, you can create, like you can customize your dashboards, you can update the values. So it's all up to you. So in this case, I will create a blank template and I will create a new page for you. So this is I'm creating a page, like create a page, and using the creator page, now we can create different type of dashboards. So in here we have different components. So these are components that we have in here. So first we have panels. So these are like numbers that you were like that I was showing you. So I can always drag and drop a number in here. I can make these values. So currently it is showing static values. So new employees this month. So it is showing me this value. Or I can rename this one to, like, let's just say if I have to rename, I can rename it as well. So instead of saying new employees this month, I can say new orders this month. So we can rename the components. We can, this is a static text at the moment. You can make it dynamic as well if you have to. So we, like, it is a static text. Then we have some presets, like built-in presets, page variables. We can go with some minimum, maximum, and then count as well. So let's just say I want to show the count of orders. And then we have criteria, all criteria or selected records. So I can add some criteria in here as well, that if franchisee name is equal to some specific value, then we can go with that as well. So it is going to give me a dynamic count in here. If needed, we can use it as to show the static text. So this is first type of component, and we can design it as well if needed. So under the actions, if needed, we can add some actions here, like we can open the URL, open a specific URL, open it in a new window, same window, or pop up. So on click of these buttons, like these dashboard, these particular KPIs, we can open the URLs as well. The other actions that we can perform is open form, open report, open page, or execute a custom function. So we can also execute some custom functions. So we need to create some custom functions, and these are like deluge coded functions. So in creator, we can create some custom functions and we can execute the custom functions as well. Now, when we are going to the style tab, in here, we can always style our dashboards. So I can update the font family. I can give some, I can make it bold if needed. We can add some background images as well. So everything is in here that we can do. So for example, if I'm going back to the dashboard that we have already created, so we have added a criteria that show all of the orders that are added in this month. We are showing the actual count and format is here. So this is how you can work on these things. The next type of panel that we have is like, these are some normal number panels. The next type of panel is a chart panel. So chart panels are like some bar graphs, column charts, or some bar charts. So these are kind of like bar graphs or graph charts that we can show. So all of the graphical representations in your dashboard will be under the charts. So you can utilize these to create the reports. I'm going to the test dashboard again. Let's add a chart in here. So let's just say I want to add a column chart. I can add a column chart. So first of all, I need to select a form based on which I want to show the data in this chart. So let's just say I want to make it based on the order form. What value should I show for the x-axis and what is going to be the label? Then we need to show the value for the y-axis because we are doing a bar graph chart. So category, I can add it as like, let's just say based on the deal type, label is going to be deal type, and same goes for the y value. So for the y one, I wanted to show the sum or maybe count if needed, but let's just say I want to go with the sum and I want to show you the sum of the amount. So it is going to be like, and then we can show all records or selected records. So based for selected records, we can always add some criterias in here. And based on that, if I'm going to click on done, it is going to show me some data. So on the front end, it is going to look like this, something like this. We can always customize them. We can always like design them. We can change the color combinations. So this is how it is going to look like. So charts. So on the front end side, I can see different charts. So this is a stacked chart. This is a normal bar graph. This is also a bar graph. This is a pie chart. And yeah, these are the type of charts that we can add to our dashboards. The next feature that we have for the dashboard is gauge. So these gauge meters are like, we need to add a limit, and then based on that limit we can always show the value, like this is the limit that we have set. Like it is kind of like target meters. So you need to select a target, and based on that, you can always double check where exactly we are at with our target. So if we are meeting it, if we are exceeding the target, so where exactly we are at with our targets. So you can always add these to your system. So let's just say I want to utilize this one, and let's just say I want to make it based on order amount. So I want to show all of the orders, actual sum, and then what is going to be the maximum value. Let's just say we are targeting for 150k, like 150k orders, and now the target, this is going to be the maximum value, and 100k is our target. So this is how I can set some targets and maximum value, and based on that, this particular chart is going to show you where exactly you at the moment with your targets. Let's just say type, yeah, where deal type equals new deal. It means it is a new order. So you want to only do it for the new order. So you can always add some filters in here. So on the front end, it will look something like this. So in here, I can see currently we are at 1930, and this is our target, and this is the maximum value. So you can always do the comparison based on these charts. The next type of component that we have is a search component. So search component is kind of like, let's just say you want to add some search bar to your panel. So we can do that as well. So like in here, let's just say this one looks attractive. So I want to utilize this one. So let's just say I want to filter out some records from from a page or a report. Based on that, I can like add a search bar to our dashboards. So For now, let's just say I want to make it based on a report, and all franchisee, I'm just going ahead with any random reports. So I will target all franchisees, and we need to add a search criteria like this, the value that we are going to enter. So what exactly is it going to look for? So let's just say I want to make it based on this equals or starts with input string. So whatever I'm going to enter in here, it will look for this like all franchises report, and it will, this is going to be the search criteria. So franchisee name starts with whatever I am adding to this search criteria. So it is going to give you some results, and the results are going to be open in new window, same window, or pop-up. So it's up to us. We can add some default values as well if needed, and this is how we can add some search bars to our dashboards. So let's go ahead and I will show you how it will look like on the front end. So in here, I will just say test and click on search, because I have selected it to show it in a new tab. So it is showing me records in new tab. So there is no franchisee based on the test. So there are some franchisee names like Ron or Jatin. So if I'm going to search it based on Jatin, so it is going to show me a franchisee for that. Yeah. So it is case sensitive. So we can make it based on that. So starts with Jatin. So it is showing me all of the franchisees. So yeah, that's how you can add some search bars to your reports, and we can always change the views, like whether you want to show it in a new tab or in the same window. The next thing on my list is forms. So this is another type of panel that we have. So forms are going to be like, let's just say I want to add a form to my report. So I have two or three ways to do that. So one way is I want to embed the form, like I want to show the whole form as it is in the dashboard. So that is a one way. So let's just say I'm going ahead and I'm adding the form in here. So I can always show the form. So it is actually based on the add franchisee form. If I want, I can add a order form as well. So it is going to be there. And then if I want, I can configure the values as well. If I want to pre-fill the form, we can do that as well. And for that, it is going to be some static. You can make it dynamic as well if it is going to be on based on a click. So for now, this is how you can embed a form. The other way is to embed them as buttons. So we have two type of buttons in here, and I'm going to add them as buttons. So we can do that as well. On the front end, how it will look like is, it is going to look like something like this. So you can see, I can always add a create order. Let's just say I want to create an order. So this is a form embedded as a button. So when I clicked on this form, it opened up in a new window, and it pre-filled some of the values. This is a auto number field, and it auto populated deal type as well. And you can, now the next steps are to select a franchisee and go ahead and create an order. If I want, I can use this button as well, add franchisee application. So this is how we can embed forms as buttons. So if we needed, like this is where I have added the whole form. So this is how you can do it as well. But I would always prefer to utilize the forms with the buttons on the dashboard, because it looks cleaner and it is easy to access the forms. Instead of having the whole form, just add a button and it is going to open the form for you in a new tab or in the same window. So it's all in here. The best thing is you can always design these things. So on the test side, it is showing like franchisee, add franchise is like in the blue color, in the blue background. If needed, you can always design them. You can round their corners if you want. You like, it's designing part is all up to you. You can always redesign these things. So we have covered forms, and let's just say you want to redesign this. So you can always do that by going to style. So in the style, you can always say rounded or rectangular. You can always add some font families. You can change the text color. You can change the font color and then the background color as well. So it's all up to us. You can set some margins and yeah, display name as well. And there are some actions. Action type could be open form, open URL. So these are the actions that we were talking previously as well. So these are like action types for the button. And now if you want to, like, let's just say on click of this button, you want to pre-populate some values. So you can always add some query parameters and it is going to pre-fill the form as well for you. The next thing on my list is reports. So same as forms, we can always show reports as well. So we have two ways to show the reports on the pages. So first, like we have two ways for the forms, same way we have two ways for the reports as well. We can embed the report as it is to the form, and it will, like we were showing the forms, it will just show the report on the page. The next way, the other way to do it is like showing the report as a button. So it is going to open the report for you in a new tab or in the same window. So it's all up to us. So same goes for the reports, like the same steps that we did from the forms. So it's kind of same. The next thing is the snippets. So we have some snippets in here, and snippets are like ZML snippets and HTML snippets. So let's just say you want to add some HTML code to your dashboards. So let's just say I'm going to the dev dashboard and I will show you some examples. So in here we have added some banner images, we have added some footers and all. So in order to do that, let's just say you want to add some HTML pages. So this is the HTML snippet that we have added to our dashboard. And in the HTML snippet, we have added everything in here, the background images, the body, the head, and based on that, the HTML snippet just created the background image to this, like a banner image to this dashboard. And same goes for the below ones. So this is also created using a HTML snippet. So in here, we have added some codes for that as well, so that it is showing the whole footer part. Now, the other thing is the ZML snippets. So ZML snippets are the snippets when, let's just say, this is the, like, whenever we need to utilize the Zoho deluge and the HTML, it is the combination of that. So ZML snippet, we can utilize these snippets where we need the HTML as well, and we need some data from Zoho using deluge. So we can utilize ZML snippets in those cases. Now let's just say we have third type of snippet as embed snippet. So it is just a normal snippet. Let's just say I want to embed a external link to my page. In that case, I can utilize embed snippet, and in the embed snippet, I just need to embed my URL. So let's just say I want to embed this URL into my application. This is kind of like a iframe. So we can always do that. Make sure it is a public URL and it will work fine for the iframes, because private URLs will not work. As long as these are the public URLs, it will always work. So let's just say google.com. Yeah, this will work always on the front end. So all of the public URLs will work in here. I need to check why it is not working in this case, but all of the public URLs in the embed page will work. The next thing on my list is the buttons. So the buttons are like, we have different type of buttons in here. So we can always add the buttons. So let's just say I want to add a button like this. I can drag and drop it. I can add it, and I can update the label. Let's just say open form, or maybe open URL, something like that. And based on that, we just need to select the action. So it is kind of same thing. So adding form as a button, adding report as a button, and adding a direct button, and then opening up the report or the form. So all these three actions are same, because in the backend, this is how it is being done. So in the backend, it is adding a button, and then you need to select the action, whether you want to open a form, or you want to open a report, or you want to open a page, or you want to execute a function on click of that button. So we can do all these things. If needed, you can add a none condition as well, that on click of this, I don't want to do anything. So let's just say on click of this button, I want to open a URL. So we just need to enter the URL, and it is going to open that for us. And then we can always style our buttons. If I want to make it a rectangular or rounded, I can always do some styling. I can add some background colors, and yeah, this is how we can do it. And if needed, we can always do it using the code. So this is the ZML editor that I was talking about. So in here, so this is a ZML editor, and we can always redesign our buttons. If needed, we can add some background images. So everything can be done using the ZML. So you can design it based on the default functionalities, but also if you need to go into more designing, you need to add some extra custom designs, you can also utilize the code button. In order to do that, you need to have the knowledge of the ZML editor and the HTML. That is the basic part. But once you have that, you can always redesign your buttons and all of the other charts. So that you can always redesign everything. On the front end, this is how it will look like. The open URL. So it is just opening the Google in a new tab. So because I added Google as the link. And the next component is widgets. So widgets are like a custom solutions. So we can create some custom solutions. Let's just say you want to perform some custom actions that are not possible using the default features that are available in Creator. In that case, widgets comes into the picture, and you can always utilize with features using the widgets. So widgets can call the Creator REST APIs in the backend, and it is going to give you a lot of the solutions in easy way. Which you need to create them using the Node.js or the other languages that are available. But you can always create a widget, and you can embed them into your Creator pages as well, and based on that, it is going to give you the required functionalities. That's it from my side today. So this is how we can create some dashboards using the pages, and this is how we can make some attractive reports, so that you are always up to the mark, like where exactly your business is at the moment, if you are meeting your targets or not. So for that, this is how you can always make some attractive reports for your company.
Awesome. We do have some questions in the chat, so let's go through those quickly before we end.
Sure,
Um,
please.
for the reports, with the picture that you have right there in front where it says like 2, will that always be a static text on the photo, or can we add some criteria there for it?
Yeah, we can definitely add some criteria. So let's just say I'm going to the edit this application. So the on the front end, it is a dynamic at the moment. So let me show you how we can make it dynamic. So in here, if I'm going to the configure page, so currently if I'm selecting this one, so if I would have selected text, it means it is a static text. But now I have made it dynamic. So if I'm going to the count, so it is showing me dynamic count based on the this form. So all of the it currently it is giving me the count of the orders, like all of
Mm.
the orders, and based on this criteria. So selected records is like added in this month. So all of the orders that are created in this month, so based on these criteria, it is going to give me a dynamic number. What's
Okay, so the next question is for the form that is on the button, can we embed it and show it in a pop-up instead of having it open in a new tab?
okay? So you mean whenever we are clicking on this button, instead of opening it in a new tab, you want to open it in a pop-up?
In a
Yes,
pop-up, yeah.
yeah, that is possible. So if I'm going to the dev dashboard and click on open page URL, So the only thing that we need to change is, so let's just say we have already added it. Just select the component, click on configure, and under the actions, we have open in option in here. So it is showing new window. You can always select same window or pop-up. So if I'm selecting pop-up, you need to enter the height and width in pixels so that it is the width and height of the pop-up. So let's just say I'm adding the width as 200 and height as 200. So it is like in pixels. And now if I'm going back to the front end, and if I'm accessing this application and clicking on order, so it is going to show me this one. So 200 pixels is very small, so that is why it looks, but yeah, that is how we can do it.
So what's the difference in like doing it in the same window or a pop-up?
So same window and pop-up. So same window means it is going to take you to that form. Like currently, let's just say,
Oh, it'll
let's
redirect you.
yeah, it will redirect to you the form. The pop-up is like it is going to show you a pop-up.
And then for the snippets, for the ZML, what is a use case? Why would you need to use Deluge and HTML coding in one?
Let me give you example for that. Let's just say you have integrated CRM information with creator as well. There are some other backend information that is there, and you want to fetch the information from CRM, or you want to fetch the information from some other forms or some other reports of the creator. And in order to fetch that information, you need to utilize Zoho Deluge, because Zoho Deluge is the only way to interact with different applications of Zoho, or you need to utilize REST APIs in order to uh, call all those APIs. We like, in order to fetch that data, we need to utilize Zoho Deluge code, and ZML supports to utilize, like ZML supports the Zoho Deluge code, and we can always get the dynamic data based on that, and it is going to show you the values on the front end. And you can always like add some background designs using the HTML. So HTML code is going to be there, and then you can always fetch the dynamic information from different number of applications of Zoho, and you can show it on the front end.
Okay. So that kind of answers the next question too. Someone asked, where's all of the data coming from? So it can come basically from anywhere in Zoho or from Creator itself, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, great. Can you make the search bar where it's not case sensitive?
Search bar, let's check that. So they we have some default, like, let's just say we have some default criteria. So currently it says starts with. So I think in that case, we need to go ahead with the contains if we want to do that. So let's just say contains input string, and let's check if it is case sensitive. But most of the times the filters and criteria in Zoho Creator are case sensitive. So if I'm adding Jatin now, yeah. So contains is not case sensitive. So I think if you
Okay,
want to do it, so go ahead with contains instead of starts with.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Someone asked, are these dashboards expensive to create?
It depends on your requirement, but if most of the times if the requirement is within the creator, that you want to create these dashboards within the information that is present in the creator, it is not expensive at all. It's just some simple drag and drop options, and you just need to go ahead and add some filters. But if
So,
there are some. Mhm.
so it gets expensive when we start adding in like the deluge coding to get it from different applications.
Yes, that is correct. So whenever we are going to add some deluge coding, or there are some widgets involved in the dashboards, in those cases, it is going to get expensive. But if we are talking about the default functionalities, it is not that much expensive and complex.
Okay. And we have one last question. So, for the buttons, there is an option for adding a function. What kind of function would you add to a button like that?
So like open URL, let's just say whenever they're going to click on that button, it depends on the requirement, but if I'm talking about a use case, it could be like whenever you're going to click on that button and you want to count the number of clicks that we have on that button. So that is one way, like how many clicks are we getting on that button. So it could be like um, ping or something. Like if you want to track the number of clicks, there could be a backend function which is just auto incrementing the click in somewhere in the reports. So that
Mm-hmm.
is the use case, but it all depends on the requirement, so we can always execute a function.
All right, so that's all the questions we have for now. Again, if anyone has any questions that come up after the webinar, feel free to email those to us and we will answer them on the next session. But otherwise, we appreciate you guys being here and we enjoyed spending this time with you.